Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald bringing you a reading for Virgo for love for November 19th through November 26th, 2025. So this is going to be Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And out of the traditional Rider-Waite deck, we have the Judgment card, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Three of Wands. And so this is really a time where I feel like what's coming up is there's a lot of trust issues. You know, I hear that Drake song, trust issues. And so I think that you are getting a lot of mixed signals from the opposite sex and you're getting frustrated and ultimately leading you to group all of those people of the opposite gender in a certain category altogether. And so it's based on your past experiences. It's a little bit of a stereotype. And so you're just feeling done with it, I think. And I think ultimately you've been on this sort of love train where you could have been a serial relationship person, where you were in one relationship after another. You've spent a lot of time of your life over and over in some serious relationships, and spent a lot of time one-on-one with those people, and you haven't really spent a lot of time single or a lot of time by yourself in order to figure out who you are and what you need. And I think that ultimately you're just feeling disgusted at this point and frustrated, and you're just wanting to get off the ride. The ride is making you sick. And so I think that as of late, you may have been even phoning it in, really just kind of going through the motions and really putting minimal effort into making any one particular situation work. And I think you're realizing that it's time for you to maybe take it down a notch, dial it down a notch. And you were wanting, you know, of course, to go all in, to go hard, but you're in your head now a little bit. You're seeing things are not working if you keep doing the same thing over and over. And I think that you're thinking better of it now. And you're really deciding, look, I don't want to lose myself in another relationship. I need to figure out what's going on, why this is happening, and, really wanting to see what else is out there. And so I think that because you don't like the way this makes you feel, you're deciding maybe to revoke access to you by, allowing yourself to be a little bit more selective about who is in your energy, who you're surrounding yourself with. And I think that as a result of that, you could find yourself in a space where you're starting to attract different things, find yourself in a space where you're starting to heal. And I think that ultimately your experiences from the past, the things that were happening, maybe you were constantly feeling as though these other people are wanting you for only one thing, be it physical affection, be it money, right? And you're just tired of that. You want something to really feel a true connection with somebody, right? So you're wanting to get your priorities straight. And I think that ultimately, maybe in the past, you weren't even clear on what you wanted out of a relationship. And so it kind of led you into situations where you maybe weren't even with the right person or the right type of person that you actually need. And you weren't getting what you needed out of a relationship. But it was for the sake of the relationship, you saw it through. And I think that ultimately we have to kind of take a reassessment here when you take the step back and realize, like, are my words and actions kind of aligning and reflecting who I am at my core? Are they aligning with my values, right? And I think that there might have been a time where you weren't necessarily setting aside time for a partner, and maybe you weren't really nurturing that relationship, and then it kind of, you got sloppy. And so I think that maybe things didn't work out, and maybe it isn't anything you want to just put any effort into right now, and like trying to impress somebody and get off on the right foot and make a good first impression, right? Like, those things can feel daunting to you right now, and that's okay. I think that this is ultimately reflecting that there's a need for you to take that step back, so that when you do decide to get yourself back out there, you're going to present yourself as the best version of yourself. So give yourself some time to heal. Make sure you stay out of your head, right? We can overthink things and make it more complicated than it really is. But I think ultimately you're going to be looking for common ground when you start to get yourself back out there. So I do so hope that this helps you, Virgo, on your journey. As always, I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care.